Hey there, fellow YouTubers, and of course, welcome to another edition of the XX Vlogs of Maxx. I am, of course, Max Callan, and first off, I'd like to apologize for this edition of XX Vlogs of Maxx not being up sooner. And the reason for that is because when I do XX Vlogs of Maxx, it's basically a thought-out process for everyone. I have to think of stuff to talk about because my life's not that interesting. It's sad to say it, but it's true. And basically, I have to go through this whole thought process where I think about what I'm going to say in it, what I'm going to talk about. And yeah, it's a whole detailed process. And usually I don't do other XX Vlogs of Maxx until I've thought out what I'm going to talk about and what I'm going to say on it, so that way it can be as interesting as it possibly can be. So yeah, I'd like to apologize. I know that one user in particular, GByro7, she had wanted me to do a XX vlog. She even said so in her comment on my channel page yesterday. So this GByro number 7 is for you, since you were one of the main ones. Well, it's for you and it's for all those who take the time to watch my vlogs, and thank you to all of those who take the time to watch my vlogs, even though a lot of them are really long. And yeah, so GByro number 7, she was telling me that I need to do another XX Vlogs of Maxx, and honestly I agree with her, because it has been a long time since I did another XX vlog, and not that I don't enjoy doing them, it's just a long thought process goes into doing them and blah blah blah. To make a long story short, it just takes me a while to do them because of the long process of thought out process of thinking about what to talk about in them. So yeah, anyway, I'd like to start off this vlog by letting you guys know this is my 100th video. I'm really happy about that. I never thought that I would get to my 100th video on YouTube before this Christmas. I didn't think it would happen until after this Christmas, but thankfully it has happened. This is of course my 100th video, and now I know what some of you are going to say out there. Some of you are going to see that counter at the top of the page, at the top of this video, and on my page, and you'll notice if you look at that counter, the upload counter thing is what I'm referring to. And you'll notice if you look at that upload calendar, upload counter, sorry, kind of messed up there for a minute, but you'll notice that it apparently says that I have 100 uploads on my page. This is of course BS. I only have 99 uploads on my page so far, or 99 videos. So just to let you know, YouTube is glitching. I don't know why it's showing that I have 100 videos when I only have 99, but it is a glitch, I assure you. This right here is my 100th video, and it will be up today. And when it does go up, I will officially have 100 videos. So basically ignore the upload counter, because when I upload this, it'll probably say I have 101 videos or 102 videos, even though I only have 100 up. So I just want to clarify that in case there's any confusion, because I know there probably will be when I put this video up and it says 101, even though it's only, or 102, even though it's only the 100th video that I've done. And yeah, it's a big deal for me. I know some of you are saying, well, what's the big deal about that, Max? And basically it's a big deal to me because it took a while to get me to get myself to 100 videos. Even doing the karaoke with Max, I didn't think I'd be at 100 videos this soon, and I really appreciate it. Want to say thank you to all my subscribers and all the people who have friended me. I really appreciate it. I wish more people would subscribe to me though, because I like the fact that I have so many friends on YouTube. Like, I have about 130, 140 some odd friends, but honestly I wish more people would subscribe, because as much as I like the fact that I have a whole bunch of friends on YouTube, at the same time it's kind of annoying the fact that my friend count outnumbers my subscriber count. So I'm hoping that eventually that'll change, and that'll have at least 20 or 30 more subscribers in the near future, so that it's not so uneven, the friend count to the subscriber count ratio on my page. But yeah, anyway, this is my 100th video, and I'd also got some other news to report. I am at 38 subscribers, and for those of you who are wondering why I'm saying this, it's because basically I only need 2 more subscribers. That's right, everybody. I only need 2 more subscribers, and I'll be doing another edition of sub shoutouts. That being said, if there is anyone out there, and I'm talking to you, the viewer watching this right now, and whoever else is watching this, if you help me get 2 more subscribers so I can do a sub shoutout vlog, I guarantee you that that sub shoutout vlog will be dedicated to you. You will get a shoutout in the sub shoutout vlog. Even if you have gotten one before in another sub shoutout vlog, you will get a second shoutout in the sub shoutout vlog. And basically all you have to do in order to get that shoutout is basically help me get 2 more subscribers. And basically when you get those subscribers to subscribe to my page, just be sure they comment on my page in the little comment section on my page below. And basically in their comments say your username and basically say that this user told me about you, he told me to subscribe and whatnot. And basically, if you get 2 people to subscribe to my page to get me to 40, and they say that you were the one that helped them find my page and got them to subscribe to it, you will of course get the shout out. But you only get the shout out if they mention your name in their comment on my profile after they've subscribed to my page. So make sure they mention you. That's very important. Anyway, moving on. Today in XX Vlogs of Maxx, I figure I will talk about a couple of things. The first being the new Twilight Breaking Dawn. I did go to see it. I'm a huge fan of Twilight. Figured I'd share my thoughts on that and what I thought of it. I also want to talk about my thoughts on the Occupy Wall Street protest, the fact that after next Friday, Supernatural won't be on until January. And same with Vampire Diaries, it's not going to be on until January after not last Friday, but the Friday before that's episode. Apparently it's not going to be on until January too, so I'll be sharing my thoughts on that. And also, let's see, what else was there? Sorry about this, folks. I know I should have it memorized, and usually I do, but I want to get this done. And yeah. Actually, that is... Oh, and I've got some questions to answer from Bamachick 1101. They were nice enough to answer questions that I submitted for their Q&A, and today on this XX Vlogs of Maxx, I'm going to answer the 2 questions they submitted to me to answer as my way of thinking. I told them they could ask me questions that I would answer in one of my vlogs, and since they were nice enough to answer my questions, I figured what the heck, I might as well let them ask me some questions that I would answer in this vlog. And yeah. Okay, so first off, Twilight Breaking Dawn, Part 1. Interesting thing about this. Now, when I first seen the commercial for this, I actually wasn't planning on really seeing it. Like, I wasn't really all that psyched up to see it. And basically, if you're wondering why I wasn't that psyched up to see it, it's pretty much because of the fact that in the commercial, I thought they gave away all the major plot points in the thing. Like about how Bella was having a wedding in the new movie, which I already knew, but they also revealed that Bella was pregnant, and I'm like, well, if they revealed that she's having a wedding and that she's pregnant, how is there going to be any plot twists? Because aren't those the main plot twists of the movie? And I thought that looking at the commercial, I was given the impression that it was going to have more romance than action. And I was like, well, I don't really want to go see it because if it's going to have more romance than action, because I'm an action guy. I love action movies. I love comedies. Don't get me wrong, ladies. I am into the odd romance movie, depending on who's playing in it. But most of the time, I don't really like movies that are full of mainly romance and not that much action a lot of the time. well, with the exception of Titanic, I love that movie, even though there's more romance in that than there is action. And there's quite a bit of action in that, so I guess I can't really say that there's not much action in Titanic. But yeah, I seen the commercial, I was led that there's going to be more romance than action, and I thought they revealed the plot twist before that, before the movie even came out, so that there wasn't going to be any major plot twists. So of course my good friend Christina B commented, I made a post about this on my FB, and my good friend Christina B, she commented on that post and assured me that there was going to be as much action in it, as more action in it than I thought there was going to be, and there was going to be more action and not that much romance, as much romance as I thought anyway in the movie, and basically that I should go see it because there's going to be plenty of action and some romance in it. So I figured I'd take her up on her word, I'd go see it, because first and foremost, I am a huge fan of Twilight. Don't get me wrong, I love the movies. I became a fan of them ever since I seen the first one. And you ever notice something in Twilight? I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I've noticed this. In Twilight, have you ever noticed that when Kristen Stewart plays Bella in Twilight, she's smoking hot? Like, she's literally flawlessly beautiful in Twilight. Yeah, when you see her in person and in real life, and she has that short haircut, which by the way doesn't suit Kristen Stewart at all. She doesn't look right as a tomboy to me. I'm sorry for those Kristen Stewart fans I offend by saying that, but she just doesn't look right with short hair. Maybe it's because I'm so used to seeing her with long hair as Bella in Twilight, but she doesn't look good with short hair. And ironically enough, to me, Kristen Stewart looks way more beautiful as Bella in Twilight than she does in real life, and I find that kind of sad that a character she plays is more attractive than Kristen Stewart herself. But anyway, basically, I went to the movie. I kind of had varying expectations. I thought it might be really good, but I figured there was a chance it wasn't going to be that great. So I went there. Didn't get there for the showing that I wanted to get there for. Like, I basically went to the one showing at 7:30. Didn't make it on time. Well, okay, I did make it on time, but there was a huge lineup of people, and with me, when I go to see a movie, I like to get in there early so I can get the perfect seat, because I'm one of those people where if I don't get the seat that I want in a movie, I won't be able to enjoy the movie. It doesn't matter how good it is, unless I get the perfect spot that I want in the movie theater, I'm not going to enjoy the movie that much, or I'm going to have a hard time enjoying it because I'm going to be thinking about the fact that I would rather be sitting in a different spot more than I am focusing on the movie. So yeah, I went there. There's a whole bunch of people, so I figured, well, I'll go check out the next showing since there'll be less people and I'll be able to get it there early for the next showing and make sure I get a seat of my choosing. So of course I went into the mall, because the mall's right next to the movie theater. Looked around, had an hour and a half to waste, so I pretty much waited an hour and a half. Went back, got some popcorn pop, waited in this huge line of people. There was like a whole bunch of people out to see Twilight Breaking Dawn. Mostly girls, but there was the odd guys there. Usually because guys get dragged to Twilight by their girlfriends, because not many guys are into Twilight, because I guess they don't like the mushiness and the romance and stuff like that of it. But there were a lot of people there. Even at the 9:20 or 9:50 showing I went to see of Twilight, there was a lot of people there. Huge lineup. I was near the front, thankfully, so I did get the seat that I wanted. Went and seen it, and surprise, surprise, it ended up being absolutely awesome. I mean, there wasn't as much action as I thought there was going to be. I mean, there was more romance and talking than there was action, but at the same time, it was still a really great movie. There was 2 really big plot twists. I'm not going to reveal what those plot twists were, because I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody who hasn't already seen it. But there was 2 big plot twists, and I'm sure you'll see what I mean when you go to see it. If you're a Twilight fan, and even if you're not, you should go see this movie. It's still an awesome movie, even if you're not a Twilight fan. I really enjoyed it. Some interesting plot twists, some things I didn't see coming. Now, I pretty much loved this movie. It was awesome. It was definitely the best Twilight movie that they have come out with. I mean, I'm sure Breaking Dawn Part 2, when it comes out next year, will be even better than this one. But this one, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1, was absolutely amazing. Only dislike I have for this movie is the fact that in the movie there are 2 wedding dresses featured. One that Bella wears in a dream that she has about her wedding, and the one that she wears for her actual wedding. Now, I had been told by my good friend, or my best friend rather, Amanda Satchel, that the wedding dresses had been chosen by the fans. And that's kind of surprised me, because I didn't know the fans got to choose the wedding dresses for the movie. But anyway, long story short, the reason I didn't like this is because the dress she wore in the dream, absolutely beautiful. I mean, it looked amazing on her. It was a very beautiful dress. And I know some guys are going to be saying out there, "Oh, that is so gay, dude. You're talking about a dress." And yeah, maybe it is a little gay that I'm talking about a wedding dress. And some guys are going to think that. But you know what? I don't really give a shit. I do vlogs. I say what I want to say. And I don't care if people hate what I have to say. I will say it anyway. But anyway, as I was getting to, the dress in Bella's dream, absolutely beautiful. However, the dress that she wore for her real wedding, it was too plain. I mean, honestly, why didn't they make the dream dress, the wedding dress in Bella's dream, her actual wedding dress, and the wedding dress she wore for her actual wedding, the one for the dream? Because I think they should have did that. Because the one in the dream was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful wedding dresses I have ever seen, and I have been to a couple of weddings. And basically, the one in real life, it was just too plain. I didn't like it that much. I thought it was a bad choice to use it for the actual wedding. I know there are some Twilight fans that are going to disagree and say that the dress Bella wore for her actual wedding in the movie was absolutely beautiful, and you don't know what you're talking about, Maxx, and all this other stuff that Twilight girls say when promoting her, what they have an opinion about a Twilight movie. And I'm sorry to those who I offend, but the dress that Bella was wearing in the dream, a lot better looking on her, and a lot nicer of a dress than the one she wore for her actual wedding. Other than that, though, I can honestly say I absolutely love Twilight. If the new Twilight movie, Breaking Dawn Part 1, if you haven't seen it, go see it. There, of course, you'll see, I don't know how well you can see it, but that is my movie ticket. That's okay, Dad. Sorry about that. That was just my dad coming in. I guess he didn't realize I was filming. But anyway, I got this cool magazine. Don't know how well you can see that. Has an article in it about Twilight. It's a Cineplex magazine. You can pretty much get it at any Cineplex theater. Well, at least I think you can. Any Cineplex theater in Canada and in the US, if they have Cineplex theaters down there. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, enough about Twilight. It was a great movie. Totally go see it if you're a Twilight fan, and even if you're not, you should still go see it. But yeah, since I've talked enough about that, I'm going to move on and to something. Talk about Supernatural and Vampire Diaries. Both shows are Supernatural's in their 7th season, which I gotta say, that is a feat in itself. Supernatural is an amazing show. I'm so glad that they're in their 7th season, and I hope that they continue with other seasons of Supernatural, even after this one is over. Because I've heard rumors that this might be the last season of Supernatural, season 7, and I hope that's not true, because I am a hardcore fan of the show. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best sci-fi shows on TV, and one of the best shows on TV as far as I'm concerned. And it's getting really good lately. It's been getting really good. It really sucks that Cass died near the end, near the beginning of the show. And for those who don't know who I'm talking about by saying Cass, I'm talking, of course, about Castiel, the guardian angel guy who possessed the body of a guy. I think his name was Jimmy, and he possessed this guy's body and helped out Sam and Dean, and they had a whole bunch of battles together, and he ended up dying because the Leviathans made him explode at the beginning of Supernatural because of being in his body. And for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, be sure to watch the first half of season 7 of Supernatural and you'll know what I'm talking about. And yeah, show's getting really good. And same with Vampire Diaries. They're on their 3rd season. Their 3rd season is getting really good too. They actually almost killed Klaus. Came close, but no cigar, because their plan to kill him kind of backfired, and Michael ended up getting killed instead by Klaus. Or by somebody else. I think it was Klaus that killed him, but it might have been somebody else, so don't quote me on that. And yeah, the last episode I seen of it ended with a great cliffhanger. Stefan was finally free of his compulsion from Klaus, and he went on the road with Catherine, and that's pretty much where they left it with them. And Elena and Damon and all that are back there still trying to figure out a way to defeat Klaus now that Michael's dead, the supposed only one who can defeat an original. So yeah, and for those of you who are wondering why I'm talking about these shows, is because I was online yesterday. I missed the last episode of Vampire Diaries, or at least I thought I had missed the last new episode of Vampire Diaries because of the fact that I had went to see Twilight, and Vampire Diaries, the new episodes are usually on Much Music on Fridays. And truth be told, I thought I missed a new episode of Vampire Diaries, but it turns out there wasn't no new episode last Friday, and that apparently, because of the fact that there was no new episode last Friday, I went online, went there, found out that there wasn't no new episode that I missed, which kind of pissed me off. And then I find out that Vampire Diaries isn't going to be back till January of 2012, and this was one of my what the F moments. And yeah, I know I said what the F. I would say the swear word for that, but I don't want to say it in case kids are watching. So it was like one of my what the F moments, and I was like, I cannot believe they got it to a really good part of Vampire Diaries, and then they decided to end it, and they decided to end it there until January 2012. So I'm kind of pissed off that one of my favorite, I have to wait on new episodes for one of my favorite shows till January 2012. And then I find out from a friend of mine that after this Friday, there's not going to be any more new episodes of Supernatural, and that they're not going to be back till January of 2012 as well. And this pissed me off even more because Supernatural was getting really good. I seen the last episode that I missed. It was absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to see the last one that they do on Friday before it goes on a little hiatus until January. So yeah, I'm disappointed that Supernatural and Vampire Diaries aren't going to be on again until January, but at the same time, I'm really looking forward to January. Can't wait to see the new episodes of Vampire Diaries and Supernatural because they're getting really good. And basically, right now, I'm going to have to take a break because I'm almost at 25 minutes and my camera automatically shuts off if I don't finish a vlog when it gets to 25 minutes. So I'm going to end this part of the vlog here. I will be back with the next part. I just got to restart another video to do the next part of this vlog. So yeah, be back in a few quick seconds. It'll be a few minutes for me, but it'll only be a few quick seconds for you guys. Anyway, see you in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. I didn't I don't really like having to cut a video short like that, but like I said, my camera only goes up to 25 minutes and then it shuts off, and I didn't want it to shut off in the middle of my vlog, so I had to stop that video and restart another video to continue. But anyway, now that I've done that, just want to reiterate, I've already talked about Twilight. I've already talked about Supernatural and Vampire Diaries, how they're not going to be on until January 2012. Vampire Diaries, there's no new episodes since, not last Friday, but the Friday before that, there's been no new episodes, and there won't be until January 2012. Excuse me for burping there. And there won't be any new episodes of Supernatural after this Friday's episode on CHCH, and I'm assuming the new episode, when it re-airs on Space on Wednesday, that'll be the last new episode on Space as well. So yeah, really disappointed that Supernatural isn't going to be on anymore, but or isn't going to be on until January 2012. It's not going off for good. Sorry about that. I kind of messed up. But I am disappointed at the fact that it's not going to be on until January 2012. But I am looking forward to the new episodes that start happening in January 2012, and I'm sure a lot of other Vampire Diaries and Supernatural fans are. I found out about Supernatural, the last episode being Friday on CHCH, from my good friend Christina B. So thank you, Christina, for passing on that little bit of info, even though I am sad that I'm gonna have to wait until January to see a new episode of Supernatural Vampire Diaries. But anyway, moving on. Just want to talk quickly about the Occupy Wall Street protests and what I thought about them. And basically, I've been watching this on the news, and I'm sure a lot of you have, about the Occupy Wall Street protests. They have not only those protests, but they have protests in Toronto, and I think in Edmonton too, an Occupy protest, that are pretty much fighting for the exact same thing. The government they're basically fighting for, I think, better wages and stuff like that. I could be wrong, a better working environment. And basically, because the government's, they're fighting against the high taxes that the government's putting out, which I think is really noble. The government keeps putting out taxes, not to speak ill of the government, and I know it's going to seem like I am, but the government, they put out a lot of taxes we don't need, just to make themselves richer, and I think that's a bit unfair. So I gotta give props to all those people in the Occupy Wall Street protests that are going on in Toronto, Edmonton, or at least I think there's one in Edmonton. I could be wrong, and if I am, let me know. I won't get pissed off at you for saying that I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. I think there's one in Edmonton or Quebec or something like that. And there's one in New York. And basically, I've noticed on the news that a lot of these protests are getting torn down because they're taking place in parks, and the police don't like that, and the government doesn't like that. The local governments in Toronto and Edmonton, New York. And they're basically tearing down these protest parks and getting the people to leave them. And frankly, I don't get why they're doing this. I mean, in a way I do, because I'm sure some people have complained about the fact that they can't enjoy their park because there's a lot of tents up there and protesters have taken it over. But at the same time, those protesters, they're not hurting anybody by being there, people. They're not bugging anybody. They're not beating the shit out of people that walk by. So I don't get why the government has a problem with them protesting and setting up camp in a park like that. They're not bothering anybody by being there, but personally, that's just my opinion. Lots of people are going to have varying opinions on that issue. Some will disagree with me that those protesters shouldn't be protesting in that park, and others are gonna others will agree with me that they should be allowed to protest and they're doing nothing wrong by being there. So I just wanted to say that. My heart goes out to anybody out there protesting the Occupy movement. You have my full support. I really appreciate what you're doing, because any protest that helps out Canadians and Americans and makes changes to the government in general, or at least tries to make changes to our corrupt government in general, is definitely okay by me. And yeah, and now I figured I'd move on to the question answering portion of this vlog, where of course I will answer 2 questions. Both were submitted to me by Cullen and Katie of BamaChick 1101. And basically the first one, I will do the one question first because it'll be the easiest to answer and it won't take long for me to answer it. And the first question they ask is, what do you do for a living? Now, basically I'd like to give a good answer to this and say that I do such and such for a living, but unfortunately I can't do that. I mean, as sad as it is to admit this, I'm currently out of work. I did have a job a while back at Uncle Roy's, this great Chinese food restaurant, but to be honest, I kind of quit that job because it was a great working environment. I just had a boss that was a real pain in the ass and I couldn't put up with her anymore, so I decided to quit Uncle Roy's, even though I really liked working there and I got along with everybody else except for her. So that's mainly why I quit, and ever since then I've been out looking for a job on a regular basis. Haven't found one yet. Had an interview at Bulk Barn for a unloading trucks / stocking shelves job. That went well. I haven't heard back from them. Hopefully I will, because I really would love to work there, even though it's only 3 days a week. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not doing anything for a living. I hope that eventually that situation will be remedied and I will have a job. But until then, I am currently unemployed, so I'm not really doing much for a living unless you count doing these vlogs as kind of like a job, even though it's a volunteer job and it doesn't pay. But yeah, hope that answers your question, guys. And the second question, of course, was, do you have any brothers and sisters? And basically, I do have brothers and sisters. I have one sister, biological sister. She's a stepsister named Bonnie. We get along pretty great. We have our ups and downs and stuff like that. And personally, I think she has bad taste in guys. Like, she always chooses a lot of the time she chooses the worst possible guys to be her boyfriends. And me and my mom kind of are at odds with this, with her, how we don't usually like her choice of boyfriends, but the odd time she does pick half decent guys. And that's enough about my sister Bonnie. And I basically have about 4 or 5 other siblings. Chantel Stock, another sister of mine, I don't consider her, she isn't a biological sister of mine, but I consider her a sister of mine because we have a really close best friendship type of thing, so I consider her like family to me. And then I have 3 brothers who are, even though they're not biological brothers, we have like a really close bond of friendship that I consider them brothers. Jade, Jay, and Jason, and Bill. All of these guys are great friends. Bill's a best friend of mine. And they're all great friends. They're 4 of the greatest guys you'll ever hang out with. And I treat them like they're my brothers. They treat me like I'm their brother, even though we're not related by blood. And yeah, so technically I only have 1 biological sibling, my stepsister Bonnie, but not technically. I have 2 sisters and 4 brothers. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Katie and Cullen of BamaChick 1101. Hope you like my answers for those questions. And yeah, let's see, is there anything else to talk about? No, not really right now. Well, there is something I want to talk about, but I will do that in another video, since this one's already ran into over 30 minutes at least. So yeah, this has been another edition of XX Vlogs of Maxx. I'm Max Callan. I hope you enjoyed this edition of XX Vlogs of Maxx. I'm sorry I didn't have more interesting things to talk about, usually do, but today I didn't really have anything all that much interesting to talk about, but I want to get this vlog done because I know G-Byro7 really want to see a new XX vlogs of Maxx, so this is for you, G-Byro7. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you all enjoy this vlog. It's okay if you don't. And yeah, if you'd like to share your comments on the Occupy Wall Street movement, or on Twilight, or on the fact that Supernatural and Vampire Diaries won't be back until next January in 2012, be sure to share them in the comments with me. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, anyway, this has been another edition of the XX Vlogs of Maxx. I am, of course, Max Callan, and I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll see you later, people. Talk to you later. Bye for now.